All right, so Amazon lost my inventory on the Amazon warehouses. What can I do about it? David, man, do you have any ideas? Please share them if you do. Thank you.
Yeah, so when Amazon loses or damages inventory, first thing you can do is try and get in contact with them, see if they'll make it right on their own. In general, Amazon doesn't really view this as an appealable issue, so sometimes that can be difficult. There are, other parties, other companies that assist with reimbursement claims, things of that sort. Beyond that, if that's unsuccessful, generally we submit a pre-arbitration letter. We get in contact with Amazon's outside counsel to try and get them to make it right. So if Amazon lost $50,000 worth of inventory, it's Amazon's fault. It's at no fault of the seller, and it's their duty to cure that damage. If they either refuse or they ignore, that's when we go to arbitration. We file a demand for arbitration. We take it out of Amazon's hands, and that's when we're in the legal process. If there's enough in dispute and the case is strong enough, that's the best way to resolve it. If some of these other companies aren't able to resolve it, and settlement, trying to resolve it via settlement doesn't end up working.
David, but what's arbitration? What does it mean? Like,
Arbitration is like litigation, except it's way more informal. So there's no courtroom. You don't go into court. There's no judge. There's someone called an arbitrator. Okay, but you don't actually have to formally go into court most of the time, or that's never court. But most of these sorts of issues through arbitration are resolved telephonically. Okay, so through Zoom meetings, most of the time you never actually have to appear in person. There are some arbitrators when it comes down to a hearing, which is essentially like a trial. If you've seen on TV, sometimes some arbitrators will require an in-person hearing, but most of the time these days in a post-COVID world, we don't even have to do that. So think of it as a courtroom that there's not actually a court, but it's a more informal, cheaper, quicker process.
yeah, that's clear now, man. Well, thank you for sharing. And in the description, we're going to have the details of your website. We'll have your email and phone number and different social media you have. And if sellers need help, they can contact your company to get help. There's a free consultation also. So in case people are looking for help with this kind of lost and damaged inventory and all that, they can contact you. I'll say also that we have been working with guys from Getida for, I think, for over 2.5 years now or something like that. And they can also kind of help with basically if Amazon loses or damages your inventory. So this is one option. However, if I understood you correctly, sometimes it's not something they can help with, like, or generally it's something that you have to take a step further and then go into this arbitration process, right? Yeah, man, if I understood you correctly, right? So even if we ourselves couldn't do it, and even the company that maybe helps us, maybe for some reason Amazon didn't, let's say the case wasn't solved, but we are still sure, like, hey, like, but they freaking lost their inventory, like, what's up? Like, so then we can try this arbitration thing, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's not where you start. It's really the last resort. So you try it on your own. You can try third-party companies such as Getida to try and resolve the reimbursement claim. If none of that works, that's when we
Mhm.
step in. We get in contact with Amazon's attorneys, their outside
Mhm.
counsel, and if they're not willing to settle it, then we go to arbitration. It's certainly not the first thing you want to do because it's
Yeah.
expensive. It does take some time. It's quick and on the cheaper side compared to litigating, but in general, it's not a cheap process. So it's not a place you want to start. It's the last resort, the last
Hmm.
option.
Cool, cool. So we have your contacts in the description. We have Getida like offer in the description, plus like a tutorial video that explains how to use it. And yeah, and here on the screen, we're gonna have playlist with you, man, David, with over, I would say, 40 videos now, touching different parts of the different problems we sellers can kind of get into on Amazon and how to solve them. So I recommend our viewers to watch it. I think there's quite a lot of views there. I think over 1,000 views to that playlist. So thanks, David, man. Thank you.
Thank you.